Look at this again, a very powerful image, the two traveling together in one vehicle, right? That shows the bond between the two. Incidentally, the both of them are also personally very close. The president of UAE refers to Prime Minister Narendra Modi as my brother. The Prime Minister refers to MBZ as my brother, and that's a huge thing as far as the two are concerned. Economic dependency, strategic relationship, people to people. You tell us more about people to people. You were there in Abu Dhabi covering the Indian diaspora is big in the UAE.
Huge. And what I'm also noticing here, Gaurav, is that the latest trend has become car diplomacy. We saw it between Putin and Prime Minister Modi. We saw it with the German Chancellor too recently, and now with the UAE President. That he's got very little time here. Make the most of it. Travel in the same car, and that picture speaking volumes really of the ties between India and UAE. And like we've been highlighting, it's grown leaps and bounds. The relationship between India and UAE and the Middle East, largely with all of these nations, we've seen a huge, huge leap as far as India's relationship under Prime Minister Modi is concerned with these countries. And that's really highlighted again in those pictures that you see on your screens, that the Prime Minister was there at the Palam airport to personally welcome the UAE President, sealing it with a hug. And then they're traveling in the same car together. So the car diplomacy continuing in the national capital there, this time with MBZ as well. But you're right, Gaurav, the people to people ties is something that was so indicative when I had visited Abu Dhabi as well. Huge, huge Indian diaspora. The Prime Minister had come, I remember, for the inauguration of the BAPS temple there. And there were huge crowds who had gathered. What was also extremely heartwarming to see was that it wasn't just the Indian diaspora. Locals too had gathered in such great numbers, because this is beyond, right, just a temple. It was a monument that people had gathered to see, that they were proud of it being constructed in their soil. And I think all that was the result of the relationship that we've seen between Prime Minister Modi and
So
MBZ.
imagine in 2015 when they met, the two heads of state or government were meeting after 34 long years. And the large number of Indian diaspora present in that country, it just goes on to show how India is virtually the backbone, whether it's law and order, education, administration, in so many places. And it's not just people from Kerala. While, diaspora from Kerala play a very significant role, each time I visited Dubai or other parts, it's usually airport administration, police, local administration, transportation. They play a very significant role. Healthcare again, and they want more. And this is one thing that India is very proud of. Healthcare workers are in huge demand wherever you go, whether it's West Asia, whether UAE, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Israel, United Kingdom, Greece. So many countries want Indian healthcare workers in larger numbers. They want Indian doctors, they want Indian construction workers, skilled, semi-skilled workers. They want them IT, all of this. And it just shows when two countries trust each other, movement of people becomes so much easier, remittances become so much easier. And the aim, so oil trade is huge, but now they want to go beyond oil. Agriculture, cosmetics, gems and jewelry, all of that. Indian companies there, their companies here, their investment in India, all of that is huge. The aim is to take it to $100 billion by 2030 in non-oil trade also.
Looking at the current geopolitical situation, and this is something we've been speaking about, that 2026 has started off on a rather turbulent note, if you will, and for the UAE too, no doubt about that. So keeping that in mind, Gaurav, this 4-hour visit by the UAE president, would you say that it's more crucial perhaps for the UAE, the big takeaways of this visit, than really for India?
So, he's meeting the Prime Minister, the National Security Advisor, the External Affairs Minister. They're all calling on him. Very, very important meetings that are taking place. All of this does signify security remains a very significant part of this meeting. But, beyond just talks of a sale of an Akash system, if it happens or it takes more time for it to happen, the aim is to ensure that heads of state and government are so close to each other that they're constantly in touch, they keep visiting each other, they keep interacting, they know the chemistry between leaders also ensures chemistry between people. And do keep in mind, when it comes to national security, there was a time a lot of anti-India threat came from Dubai. The mafia they were now confined to Pakistan. Once upon a time, the mafia played a very significant role even in Dubai to counter Pakistani terrorists in Dubai. The leadership there has played a very significant role in helping India ensure that that territory is not used for anti-India activities like it was in 1993, when all the terrorists who were part of the 1993 Mumbai blast, they would fly to Dubai, and then from Dubai to Pakistan, back to Dubai, and then to India. All of that now, to a very large extent, has been curtailed. ISI's tentacles have been cut in the UAE, and of course, all across the region. The aim is these countries come together. What happens with Saudi Arabia? It will be very interesting to watch, because India is equally close to the leadership and the country, even when it comes to Saudi Arabia.
To MBZ and to MBS, as you pointed out. And that's so a tricky one for India to navigate. But like Gaurav said, the message ultimately will be that we stand for peace, we stand for dialogue, as has always been the case for India on any global conflict. Our messages ensure and resolve through dialogue. If India can step in and help in any way, we will be willing to do that. As we put the focus again on these pictures, Gaurav was talking about how we've seen from a crime hub to now a lot more extraditions happening. That itself is an indicator, Gaurav, of what's really changed in the India UAE story. Something unheard of before.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The partnership is at various levels. You and I were speaking of people-to-people cooperation. That's immense. That's a trade relationship, economic ties, investment, diaspora. Our ministries and their ministries, our home ministry and their interior ministry, the intelligence sharing, the NSA level dialogue, and of course the heads of state. It flows down. It's a top-down approach. When the top leadership are in sync, the respect that India gives to a head of state. Now, it's a tri-services guard of honor, all the pomp and show, traveling together in the same car. This is also a message that's going out to the rest of the world.
Who's watching in particular, you think?
So one terror sponsor in our neighbor, our western neighbor, Pakistan, a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror. They'll be watching this very closely. Also, when they watch India's equally close relationship with Saudi Arabia, that is when they will understand that this terror nexus between countries like Pakistan, taking weapons from Turkey, taking weapons from China, they're operating to destabilize India. In the long run, it will always boomerang on them, like we've seen in the past. So far, India was very polite, would not say it. Now India says it. Look, Raksha Mantri, the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, he's just called Pakistan a Sirphira country. He didn't name Pakistan. He said our neighbor who is Sirphira, or rather, wonky. And that just shows that India is always with the stable countries. This Islamic Ummah that Pakistan talks about, there is no Islamic Ummah. There are countries that are very hostile to Pakistan spreading terror even in their countries. Like Saudi Arabia and UAE are all very apprehensive and wary of Pakistani beggars and Pakistani criminals. They come to these countries and beg and steal, and then try to give their brand of Islam to Saudi Arabia or to the UAE. They're more pious than the Pope. And it's just absolutely bizarre in these countries. Says, back off.
So we're seeing these images, as Gaurav points out. Perhaps one of the countries that will be watching out for this bonhomie, this warmth, may get a bit jittery over it, is no doubt Pakistan. We're going to continue tracking all of these images. Just look at the bonhomie, the warmth between the two leaders. We've seen it previously, we've seen it again, as Prime Minister Modi personally welcomed the UAE president in India. For just about 2 hours, he is in the national capital, and you see that welcome there, with a bear hug essentially between the two leaders. And this is what will translate also to diplomacy. We'll know the big takeaways in just 2 hours from now, so do stay with us here on India Today as we decode the big highlights of this visit.